I think we made it without many mistakes. Actually, I did make a mistake. I went to get some water because if you guys notice, sometimes I have a little bit of I don't know, a little when I'm talking. So, but I forgot my water because I was trying to make it up here in time to start on time at 8 o'clock. So without further ado, I hate YouTube videos where they take forever. So I'm not going to do that. Chris Jenkins for Charlotte Vibe, credentialed member covering the credentialed member of the media covering the Carolina Panthers here today. September the 5th, Carolina Panthers have made their roster cuts down to the 53-man roster, and this video is not going to go in depth, so I want to set the expectations up front. We've got a lot of stuff that's going to happen also tomorrow with practice squad and things until Monday, so look for a scheduled video midweek about at the latest to go in depth on what we have so far this year. And then I also got a question for you guys that hopefully you'll stay tuned to the end, and I really truly need your impact because I just don't know how I'm going to cover this team coming for this season, but I want to do something that is appealing to everybody that's watching. So what's up, Ali? Hopefully I'm saying your name correctly. You always sign on quickly, and I appreciate it. And then see Pantherology, what's going on? Hey, also remember super chats are a welcome thing. Those are little donations. They could be $1, they could be $10, whatever you feel and are willing to give to help support our channel, which is the only media that is independently ran covering the Carolina Panthers, and I hope you guys appreciate that. So nevertheless, today the Carolina Panthers made their roster cuts, getting down to the 53-man roster. I didn't do any predictions. I usually don't do any predictions. I had interest in doing that, but this year, man, it is so different covering this team. It is definitely a COVID year. A lot of things will look different, but because of the COVID year, I couldn't go to a lot of practices just like you guys couldn't, but fortunately I still do have the access to talk with the players and coaches. Pat Coltrane. Hey, check out Pat Coltrane. He's doing a lot of stuff these days. But what's up, Pat? Appreciate you logging in, and hopefully you'll be on the channel at some point this upcoming season. So nevertheless, let's go ahead and get right into it. And again, there will be more updates this week to go into detail about everything, but I just wanted to keep you guys in the loop with these roster cuts. Let's go ahead and get into it. Just want to wait for my screen to refresh here for a second, making sure that we're not buffering or anything like that. All right, looks like we're good. So let's go ahead and get into this first set of roster cuts. All right, she messed up already. Let's do this like this. Bam, there you go. All right, so roster cuts. First set, and we had a lot, but defensive tackle Miles Adams, defensive back Quinn Blandon. Here's a surprise that a lot of people have talked about. And again, please leave your comments below. I want to know what you all want to talk about, want me to get more information from coaches, players about. Running back Reggie Bonifant was waived today, or cut, I should say. Did make the 53-man roster. There is some hope that he can make the practice squad, but I feel like Reggie's a guy that could be picked up by another team. So we'll see. Offensive tackle Brandon Bowen. Defensive tackle Woodrow Hamilton. Defensive tackle Bruce Hector. Offensive guard Mike Horton. Defensive back James Houston, wide receiver Ismail Hyman, and also defensive back Natrell Jamerson. So let's see if I can get everything good. Working my graphics. So, hey, appreciate the comments on the setup. There will be more stuff. Hey, I really think, again, I'm going to save it to the end. If you're watching, please watch it. And I want some feedback. I like to do things quite innovative in covering the Carolina Panthers. Won't get on my soapbox about that, but I think I do a decent job of doing that. So practice squad, yes, practice squad is due tomorrow. Question from Jay Hud, so that will be coming out. The practice squad will be done by 1 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. That list to be out. And you know, Reggie, I guess, if he hasn't already been picked up, and I say that because I have to admit I hadn't been glued to the computer all day, he should be a good candidate for the practice squad. But, you know, I know there's like this unspoken rule about letting teams not cherry picking. I think it might be a little different at the beginning of the season to for someone else to pick up Reggie, and if they didn't sign him to their 53-man roster today. But hey, I'll keep you updated about that situation. So let's continue to move on. And yeah, let me know any surprises that you all have or noticed from this cuts that came out today, and want to hear from you. Definitely hope Pat Coltrane come back on here a lot more. What's up? All right, so let's keep it moving. Let's try not to duplicate anything. Here we go. Bam. All right, some further roster cuts. Man, I cut off a guy's name there, so I apologize. I'll fix that next time. Linebacker James, probably can't say his last name anyway, Anawalu. Linebacker Chris Orr. Wide receiver Cam Phillips. I think that is a surprise of Cam Phillips being cut, and I'm sure one of our quarterbacks, PJ Walker, may be a little upset about that. You never know. Tight end Giovanni Ritchie. Wide receiver Daryl Stewart. Sorry again, I cut off a few of these guys' names. You'll see the font on the right side is different from the left. That is a result of your boy trying to just hurry up and get here before it was past 8 o'clock. Defensive end Jalen Jelks. Linebacker Jordan Kunazak. I don't know. I haven't got those cheat sheets yet that they give us in the press box to help say these names. Defensive end Austin Larkin. Wide receiver Markin Michael. And offensive tackle Aaron Monterio. So there you have it. That is the first 10 of the list that were cut today. And yeah, what surprise do we have? Surprising Matt is keeping 3 quarterbacks. Shows me he doesn't have high expectations at the quarterback position. So he did keep 3 quarterbacks, and he spoke about the fact earlier with the media, if he did keep 3 quarterbacks, that they would basically be competing each week for that backup spot. So for that number 2 spot. So that at the present time communicates to me that those guys, PJ Walker, Will Grier, are just neck and neck. And it was too close for them to make a decision on getting rid of one. Maybe doesn't feel completely confident in either. Maybe he likes them both and likes them both equally. But nevertheless, he did mention it's going to be a week-to-week battle for that backup number 2 position to see who has that. So that's some information about the quarterback part. My man Shaqued was kind of wondering why for some players it stated waive, while for others it says released. Shaqued, I didn't see a difference in waived or released. Actually, you're right. There is some that says released. I'm going to guess released means that these guys were under contract previously, and waived meaning they did not have a contract. I don't know. Let me see if I can quickly find that out for you. Let's see. See if I can find a credible reference for you. Yeah, it's just a difference in how players waived or released, how they're handled afterwards. And when a player is released with less than 4 years of service, they're subject to the waiver process. Normally when a player is released, waivers run the next day. And all cuts run through Sunday. That's during the weekday. I don't know if I thought I had a good explanation, but no, I don't, unfortunately, at this moment, have a good explanation for that. Very good question. Going to make a note to myself to try to get some detail on that, and I will open up my next video with that information. But I really think it has something to do with the status, again, of the player, how long they've been in the league. Let's see here. What's up, Chandler? Releases for vested veterans, Jay Hutch. Yeah, I got a feeling that waived is, again, as newer places, released, meaning the player just has more ability to just go wherever they want. Waived players have to go through the protocol of going through the waiver and clearing that. I feel strongly that that is the answer. What's up, Chris Johnson? And let's go ahead and continue to work through this list. Again, leaving comments. I love engagement. I love conversation. And going to figure out a way to have people live on the videos this year. This was just not me. And if I'm not having other people, I'm going to try to do things like have my cool graphics that you're kind of seeing going on right now. So let me go ahead and get ready to pull up my next list. Bam! Further roster cuts. And speaking of waived and released, here's how I categorized it for this last set. Waived again, Sam Tecklenburg, center, tight end, Colin Thompson, kicker, punter, Kerr Vedvik. And then released was TJ Green. And sorry, again, I cut off the guy's name here, but that is Tamarick Hemingway. And that's, some interesting cuts in there. Let me look at this really quick. I think I can give a little bit more information about that wave versus released. Ah, man, of course everything isn't working. Nevertheless, let me come back to you guys here. Take that off the screen. I need to get my graphics for my name to go right across right there. So that is it. Joey Riolano. Man, I'm screwing up people's names. When can I be on the show, Joey? I haven't been invited. I can't get mad if you don't invite me on the show this year because I didn't come on last year. So I'm just going to formally ask Joey, can I be on the show this year? Please, sir. But that really concludes today's report. Again, it was not going to be anything in depth. I just wanted to get that information out there to you, engage with you all a little bit, see what everybody was feeling out there and get their thoughts on these roster cuts and moves so far. You guys talked about the things that I figured you would, which is the 3 quarterbacks that we kept, as well as Cam Phillips being released. And yeah, that's about it. Who is your regular co-host? So let me go ahead into the big question that I really, really hope you all will give me some feedback on. I have decided not to be at the stadium for the first week regular season game. And I'm thinking about not being at the stadium all season long. And I truly want your feedback for it because I'm working for you guys. You guys are the ones that support the channel. Here's what's going on. There's still so many restrictions due to COVID about how media has access to the players and the experience at the stadium. So in lieu of going to the stadium on Sundays, which is going to be very limited staff, there's going to be very limited accommodations. We still will not be able to go into the locker room after the games to get player one-on-ones or any kind of things like that. Everything will continue to be remote for us. So I've thought about with that to how could I, make a good experience for you guys and do some enhanced things. So I've thought about just going live a lot more. I've thought about having a very well-planned, organized pregame show that I'll do at about, 11, 12 a.m. And then I've thought about going live immediately after the games to go in depth with my notes and my take on the game, as well as engaging with you all, having you all, leave your comments for it. And then on Monday, go and do a more in-depth analysis, a show that I call the Day After Thoughts, and having that show on Monday. That's what I'm thinking, to give you all a lot more content, a lot more engagement, be able to answer a lot more questions. Please leave your feedback about what you want to see because, again, the content and coverage for this year, if you've been watching any kind of sports, it's just different. Really, only the networks are getting close to these guys and be able to ask them questions, and everybody else is kind of doing things remotely. All right, let me go through a few more questions before I get off of here. Oh, so that goes about the co-host. Yes, I do normally have a co-host. I'm not sure what that's going to look like yet because I really just started to get some ideas about how I'm going to cover the team. So in essence, a lot of y'all could be co-hosts because, again, I'm going to make that available to my supporters to be on the show with me. I think waive mean if no other team claims them, the Panthers can pick them back up for the practice squad. Hope Thomas gets better. I really want him to have a future with us. Release means they just released them without any plans of picking them back up. Live reaction. So yeah, I can't, I have thought about going live during the game, but I think it'll be boring for you guys, right? And this room that I'm in right now is at my house where I have set up for this studio, and I would like to watch the game a little bit more relaxed, be able to eat, stuff like that while I'm watching the game and taking notes. And plus, as a credentialed member of the media, and this is something that I'm saying just so you guys understand that there's lots of other YouTubers that talk about the Panthers and they may do different things. Because I do have direct access to the team, I'm not allowed to do live commentating, live reactions. I can do comment, but I can't really do too much live stuff about the game. So for that reason, I feel like I'm on Shark Tank. For that reason, I'm out. But for that reason, I don't think I'm going to do the whole game live. Let's see. Sound like a great plan. Will you be able to stream the press conference live? Good question about streaming the press conference live, but I'm pretty sure no internet media has had different restrictions than live TV has. And I don't see that being a possibility. Plus, I don't think I would want to go live with those. I just dropped something. You guys probably saw my ball spot there. Go live right afterwards because I want to get live reaction from the fans and comments, almost like what you're used to with AM radio, except for we're doing it online and possibly have some of you on video itself. Staying home makes sense to me, says Joey. Yeah, I'm. I love going to the stadium, but I don't. Immediately after the game, instead of going down to the locker room and getting interviews, I'm just going to stay at my spot and then, like everybody else, talk on my computer to the players that they give available. I can't pick any player that I want to talk to, and then come back online and talk to you guys and then drive home. So, I love what I do, but and after a game, typically, if it's a 1 o'clock game, I'm getting home at about 8 o'clock. So if it's a primetime game, I'm getting home 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Save myself a little commute and maybe be able to get some good food at the house. So, and I am married now, so stay home as much as I can since I'm not getting paid the 7 figures that these guys are getting paid. So, hey, that'll wrap us up. Again, I'll be back on tomorrow. I invite you to please like. It just takes a split second, helps me out tremendously, helps other Panthers fans find out about my channel. And hit the subscribe and bell notification because that's so important with all of the live videos that I will do. Don't want you guys to miss it. And I forgot to say, but if you're still watching on Twitter, it's fine to watch on Twitter, but I'm only going to be watching the comments currently on YouTube. So it would benefit you to go over to YouTube if you do want to interact and engage. Hey, Chris Jenkins for Charlotte Vibe. Thanks for watching. Everybody have a happy Labor Day, and I'll see you tomorrow.